Welcome back to another tutorial. If you haven't been here before, my name is Sharon and today I'm going to make an arrangement in this quite thin tall vase. It is a second-hand bargain buy that I found before Christmas and it's quite autumnal in its colouring, but I thought it would be really lovely to create something that's quite slimline. Now this style of container can be quite difficult to arrange in because the neck is really narrow, so you've got to invest in one of these candle cup holders that will sit in the neck of the vase and hold your floral foam into place. So I've got 1/3 of a block of floral foam. I'm thinking that that's possibly going to be too big. If you can visualize how much foam is there that would need to be covered with greenery or flowers, you're going to end up with quite a heavy arrangement, whereas I want to create something that's quite thin and quite tall. So I'm going to cut that down by about, I don't know, take about the top 1/3 off it so it's smaller and more manageable for me to use. So we'll just lift that off the container for a minute and then I'm going to remove maybe a bit less than 1/3 off the top, so that now gives me a more manageable size to work with. And then with my floral tape, I'm going to secure it onto the top of my vase. So I can take that tape over the top of my container onto the floral foam, and then I'm going to bring it down the side. Let's just see if we can turn that at the same time. You can just see there, it's come over the top and it's anchored onto the container. Now the studio here is really cold, so I might find that the tape doesn't stick particularly well to the container because it's a shiny base. Sometimes when it's cold, that shiny surface doesn't adhere particularly well to the tape. But we'll go around there a couple of times. Hopefully that will be secure and the design isn't going to fall apart. So if I just tilt it on its side, you'll see I've got quite long pieces of tape there. I will cut those off at the end, but I'm going to leave it there just for that added bit of security while I'm working on it. And I'm thinking about going fairly tall. So what I'm going to do is lower the container down onto the table. So you won't see all of that container when I'm working on it, but it will allow you to see the top without me moving the camera too far away from you. So traditional measurements are twice the height of the container. So if we just measure this piece of birch alongside the container, then that gives me a good size to create my height. You could of course go a little bit taller if you wanted to, but I'm thinking quite tall and slimline for today. The birch itself is dried, so I don't need to worry about cutting the base to allow access to the water source, but I want to keep it quite narrow and quite tall. So I'm going to add in another piece so that we emphasize the height there at the back. And I'm going to create a triangle arrangement with a fairly minimal selection of flowers. You know, this colour base, this brown base, is quite hard to match with a flower. We don't get a great deal of flowers that grow in this same colour. So the colour that I chose was an Apricot Carnation, and I think I'm only going to use carnations, but we'll see how we go as we progress through the arrangement. And I'm bringing the carnations in quite tall to start what we refer to as a focal line. So I'm going to bring carnations from the top all the way down to the bottom, and underneath my top flower is going to be my focal flower. It's got a lovely profile, so we're not flat. We're creating some depth there by bringing the flower forward. And if I turn it to the side, hopefully these two are in line with one another. And then I'm going to do that bouncing sort of ball effect through the middle where I stagger my carnations from left to right. Now I'm going to use all carnations, but if you don't have carnations, this could be a rose, could be a nice gerbera. You can mix the flowers and add in a bigger flower at the base as a focal point. But what I'm aiming here to do is to start with flowers at the top that are ideally the smallest size head, and then get bigger and bigger as I come down towards this flower at the bottom. Most of my carnations are the same size, so I'm a bit limited with the choice. So this head size is very similar from top to bottom. And I'm going to continue that sort of staggered line, and as I come more towards the bottom, I'm going to start tilting my flowers forward so we get a bit of a profile taking place and my arrangement isn't flat. This is a real basic version of a triangle, and it's how we would start to learn most floral designs. We start by creating a staggered line down through the front, and then we branch off at the side to make the design wider. So as it is here, this would be a line arrangement. The carnations are evenly spaced out as best I can, and we've got a lovely visual line coming from the top to the bottom, and that birch at the back gives me a fabulous colour link between the base. Traditionally, with a triangle, we would go fairly wide, but because my container is quite narrow and it's not visually very heavy, I'm going to keep the top part quite narrow and avoid going too wide. So let's see just how wide we're going to go. I'm going to cut my carnations, so I've got two the same length, and that's going to make it easier for me to get two equal sides. And what I'm not doing is bringing these carnations in the front part of the foam. I'm bringing them from the side, and this is going to give me my widths. And I really am going to go quite tight so that we've got a really narrow sort of triangle. So tall and thin, something that would fit really nicely in an alcove. It would work quite well if you didn't have a big budget to spend. And you could do them as a matching pair on either side of the altar, or they would look fabulous on the mantelpiece. So I've got another two carnations, and I'm going to fit another two on either side. So I'm going to place this one slightly towards the front, so I'm filling a gap in between these two, which is the front and the side piece, and then I'm going to add in two more carnations to bring the eye backwards a little bit and to give me some volume, because the arrangement as it is now almost looks like it's going to tip forward. So by placing in these carnations at the side, I'm adding some weight, some visual weight, so that you can see them and your eye is coming backwards, and actual weight to stop my design tipping forward. And I've placed those in without actually looking at them. I've done it facing the camera, so hopefully that's created a good strong triangular shape. Because I've added this one on the outside, which wasn't part of my initial plan, I now feel I need to balance it off by adding another one in this area here, because this side is weaker than this side here. And being that I'm trying to make a triangle that's symmetrical on either side, I need to visually balance it off in this position here. And you will find that quite often in flower arranging. You put a flower in and it changes the whole shape and the whole dimension of the arrangement, and then you end up with a gap in a place where you weren't expecting it, and then you have to fill in. But that now is much better, so it's reinforced that triangular shape much better and created something tall and thin, repeating the shape and the style of my container at the bottom. Now, to connect with the brown colours that's in my container and connect with my birch that's at the back, I'm going to introduce some of these lovely lotus seed pods. This is quite an interesting texture. It's a really good colour link with my container. It's also going to help create some depth in the centre of the arrangement, because it's a darker colour. Has the added advantage of helping to cover some of my floral foam as well. And these have been wired using a florist gauge wire so that I have a support to push into the floral foam. And if you don't have florist wire, you could just skewer it, sort of kebab skewer it almost, onto a branch or an old twig from the garden. 3 in total, so that I'm strengthening that middle section of the arrangement, and that's really hopefully now going to give the arrangement some depth. And then my next sort of stage of the arrangement is to add in some greenery. I know I haven't done anything yet at the back, and all that foam is really visible, but we'll work on decorating the front section first. And from the autumn time, I've dried some of the oak leaves. So these are preserved oak leaves. As long as they're kept somewhere that isn't damp, they will last for a good couple of months. And I thought the colour link was really lovely. So I'm going to bring some up at the back to bring in a lighter sort of peachy apricot tone. And then the smaller individual stems I can fan out around the back and the front to continue that colour all the way through. And if you haven't seen dried oak leaves before, they're normally available around sort of the autumn and Christmas time, more often from a florist shop. Sometimes, very rarely, you'll find them in mixed bunches in the supermarket. And if you haven't got the dried leaves like I have, then it can be anything that you can get hold of. I'm using these as individual leaves. But you could, of course, use something like eucalyptus or pittosporum. And I'm almost using it to frame the back of the arrangement by using the individual stems. Now, the area that's going to cause me a bit of problem in this design is that plastic container that I've used to hold my floral foam. When I get to the front, I need to start angling my foliage downwards so that it helps to cover that ugly plastic rim. And with the few pieces that I haven't used, I'm going to pop them in at the back, and I'm going to angle some backwards because that's going to help create some depth to the arrangement and stop it looking really flat there, which sometimes spoils the back of the arrangements. Now, that's all that was on the bunch, so that's all I'm going to use. And then I'm going to introduce another preserved foliage, which you might have seen me use before Christmas. This is the beech. So I've got birch at the back, birch twigs, and this is beech. And it's another one that's been preserved. This is preserved with glycerine, so it's a lot more flexible. You'll see that there's a lot of movement with it. Whereas the oak leaves have just been dried, so they tend to become a bit crispy and can shatter quite easily. If you look after the preserved beech, it will last all year round. Just like the dried oak leaves, keep it somewhere where the room is dry, avoid any excess moisture, and that will last for a really long length of time for you. And even though I suppose this is quite an autumnal colouring, it's really nice to see a variation of flowers and foliages at different times of the year. I'm just going to keep tucking in little bits of greenery, and if you don't have greenery, you could use some spray carnations, you could fill in with gypsophila. It's just a case now of filling in around that floral foam to make sure that the foam is completely hidden and to strengthen the shape of the arrangement. Okay, so I've been talking quite a lot there and I haven't turned it around for you to see. And when you're looking at the front, I'll just tuck a few pieces in at the back. Now, when you're using a tall container like this, it's really important that you have weight at the back. If you keep adding flowers to the front, it will eventually tip forward. And because I've got that plastic container, I need to angle everything downwards so that I'm really making an effort to hide my mechanics, but without losing the shape of my arrangement. And I think we're nearly done, just 2 or 3 pieces at the back and my foam is covered. If you've got narrow windowsills or little alcoves anywhere at home, this tall arrangement would be ideal for that. And once you learn this basic small triangle, then you can progress on from this smaller version to a wider version and then a much bigger version. So if you practice with a small design like this, then you'll really be able to have the skills to progress on to something much bigger. This is my really elegant, tall and thin triangle arrangement, quite different from anything else we've done on the channel before. Right. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then please do so. Like and share with your friends and family, and comment in the box below or ask a question. Let me know where you're watching from, because it's fascinating to find out what parts of the world you're from. And I look forward to seeing you for the next tutorial. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.